Okay, hello and welcome. It's hot off the press, and today's story, well, it's not really a story as such. It's about informed consent. I thought I'd do this because of a video that I'm going to show you later on. And of course this is very relevant, however, if we cannot discuss it on YouTube. So unfortunately, if you're watching this bit on YouTube, you will need to go over to Odysee, ourtube or bitchute to watch the remainder. Before we do that, I want to highlight what informed consent actually is. For example, people don't know that they should be told everything before they receive a medical intervention of any kind. For example, 2014, I went to the surgeon to have my back surgery done, and of course the surgeon obviously produced loads of forms for me to sign to obviously give my consent so that he could do the operation. In that document there was basically the pros and cons, which the doctor took time to explain to me. In my case, the surgery had a 0.5% risk factor, i.e. something going wrong. As it turned out, 0.5% for me was a risk that I took, and it still went wrong because the guy drilled into my other legs, into the nerve in my leg. It was purely an accident, but obviously it was a risk, and it was a risk factor that he said may happen. There could have been a lot of other things that could have gone wrong. I could have lost my bowel movement. I could have lost control of that. It could have been that I was paralysed. It could be other serious medical conditions. You know, various things that you can get when you're working on the spine, including paralysis, for example. You know. Because it's a lumbar spine, there's loss of sexual function as well. So various things that you can sort of associate with that. But I thought that 0.5% at the time was quite a good risk. It turned out that it wasn't the case. In my case, I can't really argue because I had informed consent. I had been told everything, good and bad. Now on Wikipedia, I know it's not a very good thing to look at, but it does actually tell you what informed consent is. It's medical ethics and medical law and medical studies that a patient must have sufficient information and understanding before making decisions about their medical care. Pertinent information may include risks and benefits of treatment, alternative treatments, the patient's role in the treatment, and their right to refuse treatment. The healthcare providers have a legal and ethical responsibility to ensure that a patient's consent is informed. Okay, so that's quite important to remember that. Informed consent requires a clear appreciation of an understanding of the facts, implications and consequences of an action. Basically, we're saying that if you haven't got any of the information and the explanations of the risks and benefits of it, then you don't have informed consent. So keep that in mind when we're discussing the next part. Now, before we split the video and disappear off to the platforms that are not censored, we're going to talk about this guy well, he's 22 years old, so he is a young man. However, he has a mental age of 18 months. So there is a fund that's being set up for him. So his mother is, obviously his name is Tom, and he has severe learning difficulties and heart condition. Okay, but he has an mental age of 18 months. They're trying to get funds for legal funds for this to launch a case. Now, I can't really say too much, but I will put the link down below so you can go and read it. They need 20,000 and they've got just over 5. So if you can help out with that, it would be very good. So stick around if you're on Odysee, ourtube or bitchute for the remainder of the story.